Welcome to the My Book Showroom tutorial series. My Book Showroom is the best WordPress plugin on earth for authors, editors, agents, and publishers. This tutorial series is going to cover the settings. So from your WordPress, after you've installed the My Book Showroom plugin, you can access settings by clicking Settings from your plugin, or in the menu, Settings is the bottom of the dropdown, or from your My Book Showroom dashboard, you can click on Settings. Any of these will take you to the settings. Your first tab you're presented with is your dashboard settings. Right now I'm using a Pro license, which is active forever, one-time purchase, no subscriptions for one site. You can move the site. So the point is you can validate your license from here. You can upgrade your license, deactivate your license, activate it on another site. All your license management is contained on the dashboard settings. How do you want to use your plugin? Are you a solo author? That's the default. If you're a one-person show, you can set it to solo author. Let's say you are author Paige Turner. Every new book you add from here after you save, Paige Turner will be the default author for that book. If you're a publisher or a publishing house, multi-author site, you can just leave that blank and define your authors as you go using the author's taxonomy. You have the ability with Pro and Publisher to set up RSS monitors, which is your brand monitors like Google Alerts. These will show up on your dashboard. And that, in a nutshell, is the dashboard tab. Any changes you make, remember to always save your changes. Let's take this to the General tab. On the General tab, you can define whether your currency symbol appears before or after. You can define your default currency symbol, pardon me. We tried to include every known currency symbol that exists on the earth, including Dogecoin, Bitcoin, etc. for crypto, if that's your bag. We're going to leave ours at US dollars. You can define your default book language. You can define your time zone, or you can just click on use the WordPress time zone default. Those are your regional and currency settings. Display options. You can choose to show the ISBN 13 on single book pages or archives or not. You can show the more in series, more in author, or globally turn that off. You can, with Pro, show the series reading order. The reading order is often different from the order the series chronologically released. You also have the ability to do coming soon, pre-releases, or scheduled releases with Pro and Publisher, so you can turn that coming soon badge on or off here as well. If you make money with affiliate codes on your site, you have the ability to turn on a affiliate disclosure notice. And this is just some boilerplate that we can uh, included for you. You're certainly not locked into this. You can word it however you want, delete the whole thing, change it out, edit it, revise it. Be sure to always save your changes. And with Pro and Publisher, you can work schedule releases as well. Most of these have helpful pop-up menus that explain what these are. You can hover over that for more information. Any changes you make on this tab, be sure to save your changes. Next is the Appearance tab. With free, you get these four color selections you can change. With Pro and Publisher, you get 16 more. Get a live preview here. This defaults to the Shadow Architect, which is the built-in plugin. We've installed the tutorial data, so we have additional books that we can use. So we're going to pick one. Let's pick the Universe Expander. This simulates if you have your own book covers loaded, you'll get a live preview of what this page would look like with um, your book cover. So let's reset everything to the defaults. This would be the default. Let's say, for example, you don't like the Buy Now button being blue. You can change it to red. And when you save your changes, you'll see what that red button looks like. And I said with Pro, You get to change lots and lots of things. So if you want the coming soon badge to be a different color, I'm just going to make it a brighter yellow. Once you save those changes, your coming soon badge is a bright yellow. Change your coming soon text, make it purple. And now our coming soon badge is purple and yellow. Okay. So you get the idea. You can totally customize it, and this gives you a live preview of what that looks like. If you mess it up, too bad. Don't worry. You can just reset everything back to the defaults as it did earlier. And once you do, everything is back to the default colors. If you have a dark theme, you can apply the dark theme and you can get a preview of what the dark theme looks like in real time. Your default layout is 3 columns. You can change that to however many columns you like. You can specify the gap between cards. And this is full rounded corners, which is the default. You can have square, you can have slightly rounded, or just leave it at the default for your cards. Your power badge can display in the bottom right, bottom left, bottom center. Pro and Publisher, you get the option to just turn that off. We hope that you don't. We hope that you like the plugin enough that you'll let folks know that you have the great taste to use the best plugin on earth for authors, editors, agents, and publishers. And this is a bestseller badge rank. It reads with your Amazon API. If you're in a bestseller setting and you get to define what bestseller means, if you're in the top 100, 200, 500, and then it will screen that. Be sure to always save your changes. That is the Appearance tab. That takes us to the Formatting tab. Formatting tab specifies your default layout. With free, these 5 layouts. With Pro and Publisher, you get 4 more professional layouts, including a pop-up, a filtered layout, flip, and slider. There's separate tutorials on each of these, so I'm not going to go into them too much just today. If you have more than one book you want to display, you can set your default to grid or list or whatever turns you on. You can either click directly on the layout images, or you can just select it right from the drop down. There's also text right here that shows you what each of these is basically does and how it lays things out. We set your default archive page title and your default purchase link, but you are welcome to edit this. Anna's book, Cody's book, purchase link text is buy now or buy from me or get your copy from me, use my store. The default items per page is 6. You can set your currency symbol to appear before or after the numbers. And we've done a pretty good job of defining based on what currency uh, symbol you use, whether to use decimals and commas and things like that. You can set the defaults for how dates appear on your pages. Advanced sharing, these are just means to have a default global share text. For example, the title of the book by the author's name is now available for this much at this URL. This is your default display order. It's important to note there's a whole section on this, but these are the global defaults. We've done our best to figure out a logical layout for each book. But if you don't want to show, say, endorsements, you can globally turn them off. If you feel like endorsements are less important than your Amazon reviews, you can reorder them. You can reorder any of these. Let's say you want more in series right underneath your book details. You can drag and drop that up, set it how you want. This will globally then affect all of your layouts, but it's important to note that when you are editing the specific book, you can always override all of the global defaults on a book by book basis, a series by series basis, or collection basis, or universe basis. If you get yourself too messed up, you have the ability to reset everything to the defaults. Now you'll see everything is back to the default layouts. As you know, a book can have multiple format types. It can be an EPUB, a paperback, hardcover, audiobook, board book. Let's say it is a autographed copy that you're selling from your personal store. Don't mind my typo. There we go. So once you save this, you'll now have this autographed copy available as a format for your book. I'll show that to you in another tutorial. And that concludes the tutorial on the formatting tab. So that takes us to the catalog tab. Catalog tab, if you have universes enabled, which is on the advanced tab, you'll see universes here. Otherwise, you'll only see authors, series, and collections. The author's taxonomy, this is where you add your author headshot, author bio, author website, the year the author was born, and social media platforms. So you can say Facebook or Insta or TikTok or you, whatever you point, and they're properly styled. You can also use a default book grid layout for the author, or you can set this author as your featured author. Be sure to always save your changes. One thing I will point out too is you can sort by first name or by last name. So by first name, PDIP, by last name. Well, that's interesting. Hmm. All right, as I was saying, now that I've got my test fixed, I had some test code that was blocking this. You can sort by last name or you can sort by first name. Also, if you have a long list of authors and you need to find one specifically, you can just search, and as you see, it'll render that right away. Let's move on to series. Oh, well, I guess let me show you the author page. You got your author headshot, bio, birth year, website. You can add social media links, and they nicely format for you. You can add another custom if you have one. You can also override the default grid or make this your featured author. Be sure to save any of those changes. Let's move on to series. We have a few series. You can do series order, you can do reading order, etc. Um, we have a sample here. The Cosmos Quest series. As you can see, all of the books in the Cosmos Quest series are listed here in their series order. You can, if you wish to, create a banner and make it a series banner. All the books in that series render nicely. And here's a preview of what that would look like in that series. Guess I didn't show you the author one. Let me go back to that. Sorry for the confusion. Here's what the default author page would look like with all the books that that author wrote. Okay. If you have universes enabled from the advanced tab, we've created a universe in our tutorial page with a banner. There's all the books in the universe. You can sort these too. So if you would prefer that Trouble with Taxonomies appears before Universe Expander, you can drag them, save your changes, give you a view of what the universe looks like. I'm just using the default WordPress theme. It will obviously look like your theme. Collections are like box sets, anthologies, any kind of collection. You can also, if you have more than one collection, you can filter by name. You can ignore the articles. Let me show you that. In the series, we have the Book Showroom Quest, the Plugin Cosmos. You can ignore the articles, the and a of. It'll sort by that without the article considered. So that would take us now to the Import and Export tab. This is a Pro version. With Pro, you have all the features. If you register your free plugin, you have the ability to back up your settings. So all of these settings within your plugin, within your book that you've customized, you can one click make a backup of those. You can import books from a character separated value file or an Excel spreadsheet. You can import from a zip file. You can import from ISBNs using Google Books or Open Library. With your Amazon API key, you can import the books from Amazon. You can also import from an EPUB. You can export all of your books to the CSV or Excel spreadsheet. You can export your entire catalog with your media as a zip file. It does have a 200 megabyte limitation, but it would export your books along with their videos or trailer videos, for example, or book covers, and you can generate press kits for your books from here. If you're coming to us from another plugin, let's say My Book Table, you've exported your settings from My Book Table, you can click that. It will then immediately import your books from My Book Table. My Book Showroom is a little bit more sophisticated than most of these plugins, but we import as much data as possible. Still be a little bit of cleanup to do, but for example, none of these recognize what a series is. So you'd have to put them in a series. None of them know what a universe is, things like that. But by and large, it will import as much data as you have in there and save you a lot of time. There's tutorials on each of these, so I'm not going to go too deep into them, which takes us to pages and shortcodes. So as I said in the setup tutorial, we have shortcodes. MBS Books is all your books. MBS Book is a single book. MBS Author Directory. And you can just copy these shortcodes right out of here. If you wanted to update these, you could absolutely do that. You know, or the series, let's see, Cosmos Quest, and copy that shortcode right into your page or post. Now let's talk about how to promote your books. If you have affiliate codes with any of these vendors, you can put these affiliate codes in. When it detects um, for example, an Amazon URL, it'll automatically put your Amazon affiliate code tag on that URL when redirecting in the right manner, in the way that it's expected by that vendor. You can also add custom stores or affiliate codes here. And in promotion, this is also where you would integrate it with your emailer. So if you have MailChimp, MailerLite, Cindy, any of these, it will automatically, you'll have to do some configuration with your API key. There's a way to test your connection to your newsletters, things like that. You can also use this to connect to, say, for ARC reviewers. Um, and of course, there is a way to make this double opt-in for GDPR, CSL compliance. We have some default text here when you turn that on that is completely configurable and editable by you. Lots of features here. You can add CAPTCHA to your ARC signup. Prove that these are humans and not bots. All right. And that takes us to the Advanced tab. As I said, on the Catalog tab, we had enabled universes. It is disabled by default. So this is the default. But if you have a Pro or Publisher license, you can enable that. When you do enable it and save your changes, it automatically enables reading order as well. You have the option of turning that off. You can use telemetry. This is where you can help us improve this plugin by making better decisions about how to make future improvements for future releases. This is completely anonymous data. We don't capture names of authors, names of books, names of your subscribers, no email addresses, nothing like that. It's strictly like the number of books, uh, the number of series, the number of universes, how you use that, and so we know where to focus on. You can also turn on analytics. We built in Google and Plausible. And here is where, if you have a maybe a really aggressive theme or a theme you built yourself, you can add the custom global CSS here, and then you want to save your advanced settings. And that is a quick look at the overview of the settings for My Book Showroom. I hope you get the most out of this plugin. Hope it brings you much success in your writing career.